Hello, Paul Wilkinson here. So in this video we're going to have a look at Joni Mitchell's, what she calls the Chords of Inquiry, which I think is wonderful. So without further ado, let's have a look at Joni now, and I'll show you how to play these chords and how you can try them in the chord progressions you already have.
Chords are colors that depict the current state of your emotionality at the time that it's speaking as a composer. Okay, let's put it in that context. As a composer, at the moment that I sit down with the intention of composing, I fritter across the piano or I strum across the strings until I find the chords that make me go, oh, at that moment. But most of music, pop music, it's like they get these formula chords. Well, the people like these chords, and so they play them ad nauseum, So I think that's ick. Music is when you pull the chords from your inner core, whether they sound weird to people or not. And anyone adventuresome is doing that. Now, my harmonic sense is, all my life I heard Joni's weird chords from rockers and jazzers. And some of them, they were annoyed. They'd say, the jazzers, not the great ones, but the near greats, The near greats would go, that's wrong in jazz. And the greats, like Wayne and Herbie, would scratch their head and giggle, and play very well. They wouldn't be intimidated by it. Well, Wayne said once, well, these are not guitar chords and these are not piano chords. What are these chords? So for me, it was finding chords that depict my emotionality. Well, what made them strange, I believe, not all of them, but the ones that they thought were strange, was that I used a lot of sus chords. Not being an educated musician, I didn't know what a sus chord was, but I called them chords of inquiry. They had question marks in them. They were unresolved chords, and my life was full at any time of 5 or 6 unresolved problems. So I would go from one unresolved chord to another unresolved chord, have a nice warm chord with a second running right up the middle of it, kind of tucked in so it wasn't on the top where it really gets on your nerves, but tucked in along the middle, like the way it was tucked in on me. Wayne eventually told me, well, I learned at Berklee School of Music, they taught us never stay on a sus chord too long and never go from a sus chord to a sus chord. So I guess I was going from a sus chord to a sus chord, maybe a little resolution, back to a sus chord to, I don't know, I can't say, but it was strange to those people. It was against their education, but it wasn't against my muse because my life was so full of unresolved things. So my harmonic movement was depicting my emotional situation.
Okay, so let's look at 2 examples from Joni's catalogue. First of all, let's look at the Dawn Treader, which has got, as you can see, we've got this sus2, so like Joni said, just nuzzled in there against the root. Then she goes to B minor, and like she described, she goes back to the sus9 or sus2 really, because it's nuzzled in there, so it's really sus2. And then here, she goes to a sus4 and then a G. So it's a lovely, what a beautiful sound. So let's think about if we had a chord progression that maybe went C, B flat, A flat, B flat. We could sus2 those, look, sus2, sus2. I'll make this a triad, and then sus2. Let me sus all of them just out of interest. sus2, 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 sus2. So it's really interesting to try and suspend those with the sus2 like Joni does. Okay, another example, one of my favourite songs ever by Joni Mitchell, which is Blue. And there's a point in Blue where she uses this chord, a B9 sus. So in relation to a B major, well, it's a B7, she suspends the 4th and also adds the sus9, look there, like that. There is an easy way to find these chords though. Whatever the root of your chord is, which is B in this example, you go a tone below and then add that major triad above. So if you add the bass note of A tone below A is a G, and you would add a G chord above your A. So Joni's example is this kind of sound here. There is your, in relation to B, there is your sus9, your sus4, and your 7th. Okay? It's a very quick trick, and Joni uses it quite a lot. So it's a good example. So here's C in the bass. Okay, what's the tone below? B flat, add it above. Quite interesting to explore those chords, doing the same again, look, a tone. I'm adding the tone below that, but above as a triad, so I'm adding A flat above a B flat. And when I go to A flat, a tone below A flat is a G flat, and I'm going to add that above. I could go again, a tone below G flat is an E, so I can add an E chord. So we get this beautiful sound. So there you go, a few tips from Joni to explore the idea of these susses, but then also the tone below, which gets us right into Joni's sound world. Enjoy.